What if I told you that your entire life could change in 6 months? And in today's video, I'm going to give you the full step-by-step blueprint on how to do so. My name is newgin, and in 6 months, I was able to go from college dropout loser, sleeping on my best friend's couch, heartbroken, and not having a single idea what I wanted to do with my life, to living in my dream condo, making content for a living, and living the life that I've always dreamed of living. I'm not smarter than you, I'm not more talented than you, and if I can do it, I promise you can as well. I made this video because I remember being at my rock bottom right after getting my heart broken for the first time. I was sitting in my college classroom looking around at the other kids in the class, looking at my professors, and knowing this wasn't the life that I wanted to live. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was tired of living a life that other people wanted me to live, that I didn't want to live myself, and I knew I wanted more. If you're watching this video, you might be in a similar position, but just know if I can do it, you could do it even better than I could. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. The first thing that I want you to do is I want you to grab a journal or a piece of paper or anything you can write on, and I want you to write in extreme detail the life that you want to be living. I want you to write it in such detail, down to the point of who you want to be dating, where you want to be living, the job that you want to be working, the person that you want to become. Write down every single detail of where you want to be 6 months from today. Now, the mistake that most people make when they're doing this is they'll write it down as if it's in the future, but I want you to write it down as if it's already happened. If you want to be making $100,000 a year 6 months from now, I don't want you to write in 6 months from now I want to be making $100,000 per year. I want you to write it down like I, Tommy Nugent, am making $100,000 a year. I, Tommy Nugent, am dating the girl of my dreams. I, Tommy Nugent, am living in Bangkok, Thailand. Write it down as if it's already happened. And don't just write 2 or 3 things down. I want you to write in extreme detail every single aspect of your life that you are unhappy with at the moment. Then I want you to spend 30 minutes to an hour closing your eyes and visualizing it as if it's already happened and how you would feel. How would it feel if you were making $100,000 per month? How would it feel if you were dating the girls of your dreams? How would it feel if you were living in the city that you've always wanted to live in? When I first completed this exercise, I remember writing things down like I, Tommy Nugent, will be living in my dream condo. I, Tommy Nugent, will be living in the city because I was living in a really small town at the time when I first wrote it down. I, Tommy Nugent, will have 20,000 followers on Instagram. I, Tommy Nugent, will have a successful business. And then 6 months from now, God bless me with every single thing that I wrote down on that paper. If you do this exercise properly and you truly visualize it and you truly feel what it would feel like to accomplish all of these things, your subconscious is not going to be able to differentiate what is in your imagination and what is in reality, and your subconscious will start to allow you to do the things that will get you to that goal. Conor McGregor in his prime was one of the greatest fighters to ever grace the octagon, but what was so amazing and so special about him was everything that he said ended up becoming true. And one of my favorite quotes by Conor McGregor is, "If you can see it here and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen." The first step to manifesting your dream reality is to put it down on a piece of paper so that your subconscious is unable to differentiate what is on that piece of paper to what is currently happening, and it will allow you to take the action so that you can actually become this person. After I wrote these things down on a piece of paper, I visualized it. I didn't just go back to my regular life and doing the things that I was doing prior. Because if you continue to do the things that you've been doing that have led you up to the life that you're living now, nothing will ever change. But again, if you do the previous exercise correctly and you look at it every single day and you visualize it, you will slowly start to reprogram your identity. The only thing that is stronger than our feelings is our identity. You wake up every single morning and you brush your teeth, and it is a part of your identity. And if you can create the identity of the person who already has everything that you want, you will naturally take the actions on a daily basis to become that person. And it all comes down to making decisions and taking actions from the future version of yourself. Because the current version of yourself wants to feel happy, they want to feel content, but a lot of times those aren't the things that are actually driving you forward. Every single action you take, you need to ask yourself, would the version of me who has everything that I want be taking these actions? And once you start to do this, you almost start to parent yourself. If you had a child that you loved and you wanted the best for, you wouldn't feed them junk food, you wouldn't let them scroll on TikTok, you wouldn't do the things that you do to yourself on a daily basis. Instead, you would have a clean environment, you would make them read, you would make them study, you would make them do the things that will set them up for the future. But a lot of times for ourselves, we end up neglecting these things. If you're struggling to do the that you need to do, then chances are you're connected and you're attached and you identify as the labels that have been holding you back for your entire life, that have been given to you by yourself, by society, by your teachers, by your parents, by your exes. I was talking to my friend who is quite introverted, and he came to me and he was saying, Tommy, how are you able to post videos online without worrying about what other people think? I'm quite shy, I'm quite introverted, and I'm quite concerned with what everybody thinks about me. And I just sat him down and I told him, you need to stop identifying as shy, as introverted, as somebody who is afraid of what other people will think. And you need to just wake up and identify as the person who is extroverted, who is outgoing, who doesn't give a what other people or strangers on the internet think. You need to identify as the person that you want to be before you are that person. You need to let go of self-limiting beliefs and these labels that no longer serve you. You're not shy, you're not introverted, you're not lazy, you're not fat. If you want to lose 20 pounds or get into the best shape of your life, identify yourself as a healthy person. Identify yourself as the person who eats healthy foods instead of going to McDonald's. Identify as the person who does the that they don't feel like doing, because the only way that you will become the person that you want to be is by identifying as that person, even if your reality says the complete opposite. I had to stop identifying as the person who always quits. I had to stop identifying as the person who would start a business and then give up because it's difficult. I had to identify as a successful entrepreneur. I had to identify as a content creator who didn't give a what strangers on the internet thought of me. I had to identify as the person that I wanted to be, and that was the reason that my life was able to change in a matter of 6 months. And once you identify as this person, you're going to notice yourself naturally stopping and chasing the short-term dopamine and starting to chase long-term fulfillment. Not too long ago, society was in a perpetual state of boredom, whether they were commuting home from work, whether they were sitting on the bus, whether they were working. But nowadays, whenever you're bored, you're able to just scroll on TikTok. You're able to listen to a podcast. You're able to play some music. The more you're able to live in a state of boredom and stop chasing these dopamine hits, the more enjoyable the process and the easier it becomes to get to where you want to get to. Instead of scrolling on TikTok, go to the gym. Instead of watching porn, learn a new skill. Instead of eating junk food, eat foods that you know are going to provide you long-term health. Instead of getting all of this cheap validation from social media, do things that are going to provide you long-term purpose. When you hack your dopamine systems, every single thing in your life becomes more enjoyable. But if you're in a constant roller coaster of having dopamine and then being dopamine depleted, you will never get to where you want to get to. There are 4 types of environment: your social, your digital, your physical, and your mental. If you can create an environment that is motivating, that is inspiring, and that is most importantly helping you pull you forward to get to where you want to get to, instead of creating resistance, then you will be successful. Going back to the weight loss example, if you want to lose 20 pounds or get into the best shape of your life or build 10, 15, 20 pounds of muscle, how could you create an environment that makes this inevitable? Well, you could probably start by getting rid of all of the junk food in your cupboards and replacing it with healthy food that are high in protein, high in vitamins, high in minerals. If you want to become a successful entrepreneur or a content creator, you would probably create an environment on your social media that is motivating, that is inspiring, that is educating you. If you wanted to stop worrying about what everybody thinks or build confidence, then you would probably create a mental environment that has good, positive, optimistic thought by visualizing, by meditating, by praying. Create an environment that decreases friction. Don't create an environment that increases resistance. For your physical environment, how could you create an environment in your physical space that is motivating, that is inspiring? Whether it be a vision board or a bunch of sticky notes around your house that motivate you and inspire you and remind you of your goals, whether it's getting rid of all of the junk food in your cupboards. Those are the things that you can do to create a physical environment that makes it inevitable for you to win. For your social environment, stop hanging out with people that are negative. Stop hanging out with people that don't believe in your vision, that every single time you tell them a goal, that you tell them your dreams, they say, yeah, but, and they insert their opinions on why you can't do it or why they're doubting you. Instead, hang out with people that believe in you. Hang out with people that support you. Hang out with people that believe in your vision and everything that you want to do and support you wholeheartedly. If you want to make $100,000 a year, the easiest way is by hanging out with other people who make $100,000 a year. If you want to become a content creator, the easiest way to become a content creator is by hanging out with other content creators. Fix your social environment. For your digital environment. Unfollow everything that doesn't motivate you, that doesn't inspire you, and that doesn't educate you, myself included. For your mental environment, how can you create space in your head where most of your thoughts are positive, most of your thoughts are helping you, most of your thoughts are optimistic, instead of having negative, self-limiting beliefs, identifying with negative labels? You can start with prayer if you believe in God, or you can even pray to the universe or whatever your higher power is. You can meditate, you can visualize, you can do the things that I've been talking about in this video. Your environment will determine where you are 6 months from now. Your environment is the reason that you are where you are today. So if you're unhappy with where you are, you need to change your environment. Now that you have the full step-by-step blueprint on everything you need to do to change your life 6 months from now, I want you to reverse engineer your daily schedule into what it would look like that would make it inevitable that you accomplish all of the things that you want to accomplish. And I don't want you to overcomplicate it. I want you to just think about the fundamental things that you want to work on. Right now, my priorities are getting a closer relationship with God, building the back-end systems to automate my business, and getting into the best shape of my life. So my current daily actions are wake up at 5 a.m., pray for 15 minutes to start my day and to end it, do my deep focus work from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and train 6 days a week. And depending on what your goals are, your daily actions are going to look different from mine. But don't overcomplicate things. I have people who come to me all the time and they're like, I want to lose 20 pounds. How many reps should I be doing? How many sets should I be doing? What supplements should I be taking? Should I be taking creatine? Should I be working out at this hour or this hour or this time? And I ask them, how many days are you training right now? And they're like, well, some weeks I'm training twice a week. Some weeks I'm training 3 times a week. Some weeks I'm not really training at all. And people will often try to optimize before they're even consistent. But step one is creating a routine that you can be consistent with every single day. And once you are able to stay consistent, that is when you're able to optimize, because you're going to be more skilled and you're going to have more context of the things that are driving you forward. During those 6 months that I've been telling you guys about, where I was able to go from homeless, heartbroken loser to living my dream life, I had my hour scheduled out so that I knew exactly what I should be doing every single hour that I was awake. Full transparency, I was a little autistic about it. The way that I was able to stick with it for so long is I was able to find small wins throughout the journey. If your goal is to lose 100 pounds, don't think about this concept that you want to lose 100 pounds right away. Start with 20 pounds. And then once you get to 20 pounds, you're going to realize, oh, I can actually do this. If I can do it once, I can do it again. Then you add another 20 and eventually you'll be down 40 pounds. But I've coached clients who have been able to lose 100 pounds. And their goal when they first started wasn't that they wanted to lose 100 pounds. Their goal was, I want to lose 20 pounds first. And then once they reach that goal, they set the next goal. But oftentimes people look at the top of the mountain without thinking about the journey to get there. Another example is when people come to me and they say, I want to make $100,000 in a year. And I ask them, how much money have you made online? And they say zero. Start by making your first $100. Start by making your first $1,000. And once you do this, you will slowly start to build confidence and you will eventually become the person that you want to become. If you want to get into the best shape of your life, or you want to bench 2 plates, nobody starts off by benching 2 plates. Break it down. I want to start by benching the bar. Once you hit the bar, then you can start benching a plate on each side. Once you hit that, then you can continue on your journey. Instead of just looking at the top of the mountain, instead of just looking at the finish line, look at the checkpoints leading up to that outcome. And self-improvement is very similar to investing, because when you first start off, you're not going to notice that much of a change on a day-to-day basis. But if you zoom out far enough, you're going to realize that the compound effect of your daily actions stack upon one another, and you will eventually live the life that you want to live, be the person that you want to be, date the girl that you want to date, and do exactly what you know you need to be doing in this life and the reason God put you on this earth in the first place.